Bored by the election? Tired of all the political attack ads that are flooding the airwaves? Well, there's a new ad that stars Samuel L. Jackson, and it's designed to wake up unenthusiastic Democrats.
We're all on our own if Romney has his way. And he's against safety nets. If you fall, tough luck. So I strongly suggest that you wake the up. And how about that student loan overhaul? It's gonna save you thousands of bucks. Mitt will cut that in a second. My dude, wake the up.
There's a reason Samuel L. Jackson is using that catchy wake the F up line. This morning, Republican strategist Dick Morris said on his website, most pollsters are weighting their data on the assumption that the 2012 electorate will turn out in the same proportion as the 2008 voters did. But polling indicates a distinct lack of enthusiasm for the president among his core constituency. So let's talk about that. CNN contributor Will Cain leans right. CNN political analyst Roland Martin leans left. Why are you laughing at Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh my God, Sam is the man, okay? First of all, if you don't follow him on Twitter, you need to. I mean, but here's the deal though, okay? I know some people will say, oh my God, it's the language, but guess how much money R-rated films make all the time? And we all know his classic rants in Pulp Fiction and in Shaft as well. So why not have Shaft get folks excited about voting? I say, way to go, Sam.
Okay, Will, give me your critique of Samuel L. Jackson's Obama ad.
My film critique? Oh, okay. Are we rolling on a 3-second delay here? Because do I get the same liberties that Samuel L. Jackson takes?
No, you don't.
Try it. Try it.
No.
Should I try it? No, it's whatever. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's I think we take politics too seriously sometimes. So yeah, bring a little colloquialism into it.
Okay, so let's get down to the core issue here. Dick Morris is saying, yeah, President Obama may be leading among minorities and young people, but those people traditionally don't get out the vote, and they're not really that excited about President Obama anyway. So is Dick Morris right, Will?
Dick Morris has a point. Now, listen, first of all, I hate talking about polls, and I know Roland does as well, because A, I hate the idea that politicians are constantly checking polls and adjusting their message. And B, I hate trying to interpret these things as though I have a crystal ball. However, I will tell you this. I know this, Carol, that a lot of these polls that are coming out, and you've heard the topic du jour this week, that the conservatives think some of these mainstream polls are skewed, because what they're showing is a larger Democratic turnout than the historic Democratic turnout in 2008. In 2008, on the cusp of a historic election, first black president about to be elected, you had an amazing turnout among minorities and youth vote. So what these polls today are showing is they're projecting a larger turnout than that. And that's a little bit of a stretch. That's a little hard to stomach in a down economy. So I'm very skeptical you're going to see that kind of turnout again.
Okay,
if there's one thing I do, Carol, in this world is I never, ever listen to anything Dick Morris has to say. I mean, do you know how wrong he has been? I mean, seriously, he probably gets his name wrong each day. The bottom line is this here, okay? Republicans are complaining about the polls. Fox News did a poll themselves showing the president leading. Last I checked, they're not liberal. Last I checked. So the bottom line is this here. They're not measuring in terms of the turnout. They're simply measuring where folks are right now. Both campaigns are going to, one second, Will, both campaigns are going to be looking at what happens the first week of early voting to get a sense of where their voters are. The bottom line, I've always said this here, no election is won by any poll. You have to turn your people out. What the polls give you is an indication of where you're weak, where you're strong, and how you need to proceed forward. And so at the end of the day, I don't pay attention to any poll. If you don't get your folks out, a poll today is irrelevant because you can still lose.
I will say, as far as Mitt Romney is concerned, Will, he's definitely softening his image, changing his tone. Surely he's looking at these polls and he's worried, even though he says he's not.
Right. Okay, a couple points. Roland said no poll ever affects the turnout of election. You should ask the CIA.
No, actually, that's not what I said.
In some of the polls across the world.
It's Will's turn.
You
should ask the CIA about polls and their influence on elections across the world about that point Roland makes. Second, it's not an issue of whether or not Obama is ahead. He surely is ahead, and that Fox News poll reflects it. The question is by how much. And the polls take into account likely voters. That's where turnout comes in. They try to adjust it for what they think the turnout will be. adjusting the proportion of Democrats and Republicans in their poll. Now, I fully admit, regardless of whatever the percentage, President Obama looks to be ahead, and Mitt Romney does need to soften his image, as you said, Carol, and adjust his message. And he's working on that. That's obvious in Ohio and Florida and Pennsylvania and some of these important swing states.
Yep, and we're going to talk about it in the next hour, and that brings us to the end of our another fascinating discussion, which I enjoyed.
Wake up!
Wake up!
Wake up!
Wake up!
Test that delay. Test the delay. Test it,
Wake
Roland.
up!
Thanks, guys.
Oh, you know I'll cuss you out, Will, so don't start.
Oh, God, please do it off the air. I want to keep my job. Thanks to both of you.